This was the best
anything
time.
with fighting.
This was a dream come true.
This is. Jose Young's here, MMAfighting.com.
Oh, what's up?
With the inaugural episode of Anything But Fighting. This has been a project I've wanted to do for a long time. Obviously, I'm going to speak with fighters about literally anything but fighting. So, of course, the man next to me promised he would be the inaugural guest.
Dude.
And he delivered.
I'm honored.
I'm excited. But you guys know him as former multiple-time UFC title contender Joseph Benavidez. But more importantly, no, you're the biggest cinephile. One of the biggest cinephiles I've ever met.
Oh,
For
shit.
sure.
Met period or just like in MMA? Cause
No, in general.
Oh,
Like
shit.
in
I'll
life.
take that.
Like in life.
That's
like
incredible.
I remember we did the Oscar show, and I was like, this will be like 45 minutes, and it was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We talked
The
a lot
first
about
one,
a lot.
that was just one of the greatest interviews in my life in MMA.
For people that don't know, I did an Oscar preview with Joe, and then it was going to be an Oscar preview, and then it devolved into end of the decade conversation, and that.
But it was like at a weigh-in or something too,
It was
right?
at a media day. You weren't even fighting.
I wasn't even fighting. I was taking pictures for Dapper Scrappers.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about movies.
And we both said we should put this on camera.
And they're just like, dude, you want to talk about it on camera? And then that was like even like a 20-minute thing in 2000.
And it ended because my cameraman Casey was like, we have to go.
Yeah.
Like he was packed up and he was like,
Dude,
we
that
have
was
to
so
go
fun.
now. Like we could have kept going. But that episode, since that episode, I've wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Like this
the best.
specific. So I want to interview fighters and some non-fighters. Mm-hmm. We might have some non-fighters, like maybe some pro wrestlers and some musicians. They'll talk about fighting and why they like fighting, but the fighters are not going to be talking about fighting.
Yes.
And this has been, I've wanted to do this for a long time.
Yeah, when you told me this idea, I was like, dude, you are the man for this job. And this needs to be Jose Young's, and this needs to happen.
And I do want to, before we get into it, I do want to give a shout out to Nick Wolf, who did the music for this podcast, and Gorilla the Bear did the God did the artwork for it.
Dude, guy's incredible.
So 2 masters at their craft helping me out. But anyway, Joe, we're here to talk. Honestly, we can talk about whatever we want. We can talk about coffee. We can talk about music.
It's anything.
We can talk about art.
I got a hot take on pretty much anything.
But we'll start with movies. So first of all, Joe, you're obviously one of the bigger movie fans I've ever seen. So
that's awesome.
How long back can you remember? Like, when did you really become interested in like cinema and movies and everything like that?
Shit, man. Well, it's crazy because I think as a kid, when we're talking about movies, like you just watch kind of like what kids watch, and you know, I remember liking like animated movies and. I shouldn't have cussed. Did I cuss a little bit? I didn't even cuss that much. I caught myself. Okay.
You can cuss all you want.
You know, like you're watching stuff and every kid likes being entertained by whatever. But honestly, when I kind of started getting into, I think like the deeper things, I remember clearly like same thing with like music. Like when I heard Elvis's voice, I was just like, music is cool.
It was Elvis for you, huh?
Yeah. But with movies, it was like a mix of like Pulp Fiction, which I think our generation and our age is like everyone's like, oh my God, movies are cool and different and like weird.
Yeah.
And like it was like Pulp Fiction. Another one was like Scarface.
Yeah.
And I just remember that ending, just sitting there like floored at what I just saw. And even like, not that it's a very cinema type movie, but Blood In, Blood Out.
Really?
Yeah, I would watch that so much times, and it was more like ironic to me, even though I think it is a good movie. But like, I grew up in New Mexico, and I just kind of know that. Me and my friend were having a conversation the other day. Like, is it actually a good movie, or do we just like love the movie? But like, is it good?
I get what you mean.
And I'm just like, well, it is like
I have a lot of movies that are objectively bad.
Yeah.
But I love them so much.
Yeah. But specifically, I remember like. Yeah, I was always watching like Night at the Roxbury and like funny movies, like silly movies and Zoolander and stuff like that. But like Pulp Fiction and Scarface, where I was like, dude, this is like new and different. Then I could kind of start exploring from there. Oh, this Al Pacino guy. Oh, he does classics. Oh, this Quentin Tarantino. Oh, I gotta watch all his. Oh, he did a movie before this called Reservoir Dogs, and I start watching that, and then honestly, it just kind of like grew from there. But those were ones that I remember being like, yeah, these are like films.
There's a select group of movies that if someone says this is my favorite movie or one of my favorite movie, I know exactly what year they were born.
Yeah.
It's like people of our generation,
Yeah.
it's Pulp Fiction, it's Scarface, like Shawshank Redemption, Fight Club, like those are like, oh, this is an adult movie. And then like newer ones you have like Drive, Baby Driver, like where like
Drive is so good.
Where if they say this is my favorite movie or The Matrix, I'm like, I know exactly what year you were born and what generation.
And your whole personality.
or like Boondock Saints. Like how many,
oh my God, yeah.
Like growing up in New England where it's just like Irish people everywhere, like that was everywhere.
Yeah. And I wouldn't even say those are my favorite. I just distinctly remember
those are the ones that opened your eyes.
They changed me. Yeah, those were like I said, like with that like, oh yeah, those were ones where I was just like, damn, movies are cool.
And at one point, that one of those was probably your favorite movie at one point in your life.
Yeah.
Like growing, like when I turned 15, I was like, yeah, Pulp Fiction is my favorite movie. Yeah. Like I'm a cinema. I know everything about cinema.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I need the poster in my room.
Like, oh, I love Citizen Kane. I'm like, but do I like Citizen Kane or am I just saying it?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing to say.
Yeah, exactly.
But so growing up, as a little kid, favorite movie growing up?
As a kid?
Yeah.
Damn it. I had... well, you know what's weird? Like me and my, I know exactly what this one is. My favorite movie growing up as a kid was La Bamba.
You must be Mexican.
Yes.
Yes.
I love La Bamba. And like as a kid, like I'm trying not to count like anime because as a kid, like I was saying, you just love being entertained. And I actually started more appreciating animated when I grew up because I was like, oh, this is a real like complex emotion we're doing. But as a kid, you're just watching them. But like, so I'd watch comedies and stuff. But man, La Bamba was like my favorite movie I'd watch over and over and cry like as a kid. So that was another one. And it wasn't necessarily like opened my eyes, but it was one of the first ones when I was young that I started like feeling in movies more. Because that ending, Richie, like it just gets you every time. But I just... La Bamba was probably my favorite movie, I think, as like a kid.
When was the last time you saw that movie? I haven't seen that movie.
It's been a long time. But me and my brother still quote it all the time.
What was the first movie you saw in a movie theater? I know exactly what mine is. Mine was The Lion King.
Really?
Yeah, I cried.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
The Lion King's incredible.
The Lion King, seeing The Lion King in theaters is a core memory for me. Like, wow. I vividly remember going. And I didn't know what a movie theater was. I was like, Mom, where are we going? And she's like, we're going to go see a movie. And then from that, like, there are... Like, I can date myself because I remember going to see The Lion King. I remember going to see Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, my God.
I remember going to see Bugs. I remember going to see Anastasia, that animated movie.
Yeah.
And like, all of those... I remember going to the theater and watching it in the theater more than what I did the rest of that year. Like, one of the most traumatic moments of my life was watching James and the Giant Peach in theaters. Because that lightning rhino was horrifying as a kid.
Shit.
And we were the only ones in the theater. My mom was like, we're going to go see James and the Giant Peach. And to this day, like, that is such a core memory for me.
That's crazy. So, dude, I'm super jealous that you have the clarity and the memories right now. I am trying to honestly think of a movie I saw in the theater when I was young.
I guess maybe not the first. What's like an early one you remember seeing?
You know which one I remember as a kid being young and watching? And this is going to sound weird. People are going to be like, so you watch Blood In, Blood Out, La Bamba where the dude dies, and this movie in the theater was one of the first movies I remember going to a theater and watching with my mom. Do you know The Cell? With Vincent D'Onofrio and Jennifer Lopez is in it. It's actually a trip. I don't know how it would hold up now, but as a kid, it was one of those like, oh my God, this is the weirdest movie. Like they go inside Vince Vaughn's in it, and he's like kind of serious. Dude, you ever seen this movie?
No, I've never even heard of this movie.
The Cell. It's so weird. Like there's like a serial killer, and they have to like get inside his mind to find where he like hides people, like kidnaps people. So, like, they have to travel inside his mind. So, they, like, put on these, like, futuristic suits. And they, like, travel inside his mind. They're, like, in danger in his mind. And, like, just weird, like, dream sequences happen. and it's J-Lo, Vince Vaughn, and Vincent D'Onofrio. And
What year did this movie come out?
dude, this was 94 maybe. I wish I knew. I'm not good with years, but I remember me and my mom watching that. So speaking of like going with your mom to kind of like a movie that messed you up.
I think my mom would just take us to the theater because I had two brothers, and it was like the only place we would be quiet. And she would just like, thank God.
Oh, that's
like,
smart.
thank God.
Yeah. It's funny enough, I remember vividly the theater I went to all the time because there was a card shop by it, and I remember like going in, and I remember eating pickles and popcorn because that's a New Mexico thing.
Hell yeah.
But like I don't remember what movies I was watching as a kid. But like that was my first theater experience, I feel, was The Cell, because it was also like a very trippy, like visually like dark, stunning movie.
Would you go to, well, they don't really exist anymore, but like movie stores, like movie rental?
Oh God, yeah. Oh, at Browse for Hours.
Yeah, there's
at Blockbuster.
So we had like a proper like local one, like independently owned.
Oh, I think we did maybe Hastings. Is that a thing?
I've never heard of
All
it.
right,
so.
I think it's local then.
Yeah, we would have some, and I would.
We had local ones.
I would be 7 or 6, and they would break it up by genre. So they would have like just
new releases even and
new
stuff.
releases, and they would have like if you didn't rewind it, they would fine you.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But they had the horror.
Be kind and rewind.
They underrated movie, honestly. I would sneak into the horror section just to look at the covers. Because they were terrifying as a kid.
You're a horror movie fan?
I like all. Like I go through phases.
Yeah.
Like for the last 3-4 years, I've been really into found footage films.
Oh.
Me and my girlfriend will find any of them.
Oh,
if it's found footage, we'll watch it. And we don't care if it's good or bad. We don't care about the reviews. We love it.
By found footage, it's
like
not
the Blair Witch Project.
Like Blair Witch. All right, it's found footage that's being made into a movie.
Yeah,
it's not
correct.
like found. Okay.
I mean.
Okay, it's like
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's
okay.
So I go through
I've seen
phases.
a few of those. Like
that is my jam right now.
Yeah.
If
they're all like digitally done and
some
stuff.
of them.
There's like Spree and some other one with
like
the
Cloverfield would be one.
Okay.
The Blair Witch, Grave Encounters. I guess technically Cannibal Holocaust is one of them. That one is jarring.
Yeah.
All the VHSs, records, like that's my jam right now. But I remember going to the independent movie theater and movie store, and I would just look at the covers, and they would traumatize me. Like there would be like a woman with like her eye hanging out, or like a werewolf like eating a girl. Those are also core memories. Just like I don't even know what the movies were. I just remember seeing like this is crazy.
and that's how we got into MMA.
Yeah,
honestly, just scarred as children.
And I would rent
by horrifying.
And my dad would rent Batman and Robin starring.
Oh shit! I talked about fighting.
George Clooney and like the George Clooney Batman.
Yeah.
I would think, or is that?
Oh, those are even freaky.
Yeah, even as a little kid, I knew that wasn't a good movie.
Yeah,
but I still love them.
Yeah, I just asked because like I feel if people like horror movies, like they're obsessed with horror movies. Like no one kind of like dabbles in horror. I feel. Which is great that we do. Like I'll watch like one if it's supposed to, but like I feel like horror people like watch horror movies.
That's like their identity.
Yeah,
I'm in a group chat with Jessica, Crystal Queen, and Eric, New York Rick of MMA Fighting, and we just talk about horror because Eric is a big slasher film like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, and Jessica's really into like supernatural and ghost stuff. And I love haunted house movies, but I'm more of like a found footage guy myself.
Yeah, one of my first horror movie memories was It. Stephen King's It.
The original one.
Yeah, the original. And I think maybe that's why I didn't grow up wanting to watch scary movies, because I used to, like craving to watch scary movies because I was like scarred by it. Like we had to take baths as kids.
Sure.
And my brother would like go in while I was in the bath, my older brother, and turn off the light. And he would just like knock and be like, "Day off!" And I'm like in the shower and I'm like getting out of the bathtub all like wet and naked. So like, yeah, that was a memory of a horror movie that as a kid, back to kind of childhood movies and the horror movie. But I remember being scarred by It, and I still haven't seen like the new one because of it.
Oh yeah, there's 2 of them.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
And they're good.
Like those look cool though.
Those are generally like good films.
Good movies.
They're filmed. That is a cinematic experience. Okay, so if you're not a big horror guy, like you don't seek it out, what would be your genre? Like if someone goes, what is Joe's genre of music or movies that he would want?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to cry every time out. But honestly, I'm mainly like, I think when I look at my taste in movies, like I'm very like character driven.
Yeah.
Like when I look at all
Yeah,
my favorite
you
movies,
are.
they're very complex characters and nothing like, you know, supernatural or too like. Look, I love like a good fantasy and a good surreal moments and stuff like that. But a lot of my favorite movies, I feel, are just very human, general characters. Like not even huge plots, not even you know something crazy with a twist. Like it's a lot of like character. Like all my favorite movies are like, you know, I can break it down into like characters.
Sure.
And, like what do these characters say?
Because
about
you
me?
did pick The Joker as the best movie that year.
Wasn't though.
I know.
Yeah.
You changed your mind.
Oh, dude, I always want to say that every time we talk. Remember, I talked about it. I was high off the experience.
Oh, yeah.
Because I went with the.
It makes a difference. Like I went to
family.
see Dune with my girlfriend, and that's not the best movie of the year, but that's her favorite movie.
Yeah.
And she's read the book a million times.
Yeah.
So she was so into it that I became invested.
Yeah, I think you caught me like 2 days after too.
I know.
And I was on a high, and Joaquin was so good, and I was just on a high. And so I can revamp. I don't know if I have, but I'll do it here again.
Hit me.
My favorite movies from that year now, which was an amazing year, was that 19?
Yes.
Or 18?
I think it was 19, yeah.
19.
Yeah, because we talked January 2020.
Cause that was like the Parasite year.
Yeah.
But my three from that year, Honey Boy
Yep.
with Shia, incredible. Honeyland, which is a documentary, which I
documentary.
was big on that
You
even
were.
in the interview. And Jojo Rabbit, I'll throw in there as well.
Yeah. Jojo Rabbit was the last movie I saw in theaters that like jarred me.
Yeah,
I was-
God, it's so good.
The scene with when her shoes are hanging. Oh.
God. Yeah, the ending actually gets me, even though it's joyous. I feel like I don't like necessarily cry at sad stuff when I talked about crying earlier. Like as much as I like to like, it's like joyous like cries.
Sure.
Like, kind of just
sure.
like
you apprecited the art.
oh yeah, and it just
Do you
gets me
cry when you watch movies? Like at sad movies?
sometimes.
I just sit there in silence and like the movie's over and I just think.
You know what's funny is I don't laugh. Like I won't laugh in a movie. I haven't laughed in 3 years, but I'll like cry in a movie. But like I can watch like the movie like that was the funniest movie I ever saw and I like won't laugh.
So you think the movie's funny, you just don't laugh.
I won't like laugh. I won't
You'll just-
like be
you'll
like,
just say-
oh my god,
You'll just
that's
say
funny.
that's funny.
I just like smirk. I just appreciate like that was good.
You don't laugh at like I think you should leave the show.
This dude, I was trying like so. I can't like go 30 minutes without talking about I think you should leave or quoting
I
it.
know,
I
that's
probably
why I
already
brought it
did
up,
at some
'cause we
point.
text about it.
There's a poster right there. That Paul Bufano poster
Yep.
is the fake
Yep.
is the fake game show skit concert poster from the Colgate Comedy Hour.
Do you watch?
Paul Bufano?
do you-
Roy Donk?
Do you laugh when you watch it?
I kind of laugh. Like I just shake my head in appreciation.
Sure.
A lot. Like I'm just kind of like, oh, that's so good. And then like I'll rewind and I'd be like, the way they deliver that. With this show though, I mean it's my like office or friends. I just every day.
Yeah.
Like if I'm
I
just
watch
like
it.
hanging out packing, I just put it on whatever episode it's on,
Yeah.
and I just gain new respect for every skit every time. I actually have there's a post on my Instagram from a while back, and sometimes I just go to it because I said all I did was watch I think you should leave this month, no quote, no movie log, but like throw me some quotes. And
Yeah.
if you like
Yeah,
were an
yeah.
alien coming
Yeah.
down and reading that, you'd just be like, what? My mom used to drink vomit so we could get school supplies and trips to Florida, and like stuff like there's just the most random things said, and then I just love that. But like, no, like I don't laugh a lot at stuff. I like smirk and I
Sure.
appreciate it. Like that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then I think if I like want to quote it more, maybe that makes it funnier. Cause like yeah, but I don't like sit there and laugh, which is weird. But yeah, I do. I will like shed a tear in a movie.
What in cinema? What do you think is a movie trope that you like? You get why people like it, but like me, like personally, I'm not a big fan of like the grown adult like trekking across something with like a kid, like The Road. You know, well, it's
Okay.
I like Lone Wolf and Cub. Like, I just don't like one adult and one kid, and they're on an adventure.
Okay.
It's just not my thing. I get it, but like if that's the movie, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. Shoot, that's a tough one because, I can kind of like narrow down movies that like, that's like not for me. Like, I'm not big on like the crazy, like super confusing twist kind of thing. Yeah. That it's like you're figuring out the whole time, then it happens, because I just feel it doesn't have like rewatchability, because you're like, well, if you rely on a twist, you're not gonna really get more out of it. You know what I mean? So I'm not really like big on like twists like that, or I don't know. Are superhero movies a trope? Just kidding.
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to get too hated, but I don't watch them at all either. And this is my reason for that, is like, once going back to the character part. The thing for me and superhero movies, I haven't watched a ton, is to me it's just kind of like, and I don't want to get in an argument because I know you're a big comic book guy. I don't know if you watch a lot of the superhero movies though.
Not really.
Okay.
Not because I don't like them, just because, like you say, there's no rewatchability and stuff. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and you read the comics.
Yeah,
probably
so I'm
already.
I'll go. There are some that I feel I should experience.
Yeah.
I saw the last Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And
I actually do want to watch that, because I'm a big Garfield fan, and I was same when we were talking about like our years. Like, I remember like those were some of the first. Those were kind of like their first of their kind, like superhero movies. Like, you know, besides the Batman's, like, oh, Spider-Man. Oh, I should watch that.
Yeah.
Like, that's when they were still kind of like original in a way.
Yeah.
They were just kind of cool, and now it's just like you can't keep
there weren't
up.
like 7 or 8 coming out a year, but like that Spider-Man movie, I went the day it came out.
I heard it's amazing.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
But what made it fun is I saw it in the movie theater, and it was like when Andrew Garfield came out of the portal.
Yeah.
Because it was like the worst kept. Everyone knew he was going to be in it, but there was nothing official. Everyone in the theater stood up and clapped.
I love him.
And I was, and the same thing when Tobey Maguire came.
Yeah.
And like
Tobey was first, right?
Tobey was the early 2000s.
Okay.
So those first 3 Spider-Mans are super important to my childhood. Like, they're not. The second one is the best.
Yeah.
I'll die on that hill. But like, my mom let me skip school to go see Spider-Man 1. I was in 5th grade.
Our moms are cool, dude.
They're great.
Yeah.
Or like my favorite superhero growing up, and to this day, is Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And when the first Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider came out, terrible. My mom was like, "You want to skip school to go see Ghost Rider?" I'm like, more than anything.
Yeah.
So it was like a Wednesday, and we were the only ones in the theater. And I'm like, this movie's terrible, but I'm so glad I'm watching this movie right now.
This is my thing with the superhero movies in general. Like, going back to the conversation about characters, is like, I just feel a superhero is just a very like shortcut to developing a character. Like, instead of making him go through this like complex, realistic, like human emotion, like, just make him fly. Just make him do this. Just make him shoot webs. Just make him do that. So they're characters in general, and they are going through their own battles. But I feel like those are kind of like, well, you can build like a complex, like more relatable human emotion, but just give them a suit and then they're like cool. So that's kind of like, it's like a shortcut to character movies. And I like the spectacles of them sometimes. Like, I actually watched like Wonder Woman 84, which like I loved it. Because
I found him.
Huh?
I found the one guy that likes that movie.
But you know what I loved about it is it was what I went in to see. Like, I went to see a giant, ridiculous, overproduced spectacle, not to like, if I wanted like, you know, a character or something a little more like grounded and human, like I wouldn't watch a superhero movie. And that's what people kind of go for now. But I went to see like an overproduced spectacle, and I was like, this is great. It's just terrible and disgusting and overproduced and so overdone that it was great. And then it's just funny that people are arguing like, you know what was crazy is like, she got in the plane and she just like knew how to fly, and then this happened. I'm like, you're watching a girl fly around in underwear. Like, that's the point about it.
That's my big pet peeve, when people say like, oh, we need like realistic superheroes.
Yeah.
I'm like, the dude can fly in space.
Yeah.
Like,
he's a superhero. Yeah.
Like, Superman is from a fictional planet.
Yeah.
Like Frank Miller, who I have a lot of thoughts on, the writers, he kind of went on a rant on this. He's like, I don't care if Superman has 5 o'clock shadow. I don't care what he had for coffee. I just want to go see him fight aliens.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I care about. You don't need to humanize a superhero.
Yeah.
Like that. Just go do.
Well, that's what I mean.
Tall
like,
buildings in a single bound.
Yeah. Like, if I want to watch a spectacle, I'll go watch that. Like I watched all the Jurassic Parks, and I love the worlds even.
Sure.
Like the worlds were sick. One all-time classic. Like when that
100%.
damn Brontosaurus comes out, bro, it's magic.
I believe
right?
at one point that was the highest grossing movie ever in the history of cinema.
Yeah. Like those are incredible, and like I appreciate what they are, and like every movie to me, when we're talking about tropes and dislikes and blockbuster and superhero, like every movie to me is a miracle and the team behind it and being made. But like some I just don't like.
Sure.
Like some just aren't for me, but like they're for somebody, and I appreciate that. But yeah. So like like you're saying, oh, we don't have to make superheroes human. Like that should be fun. This should be this. Like you're already flying, just be fun. Yeah. And I hate a movie that like doesn't know what it is. Also, it's like trying to be so many things. It's like, dude, just be what you are.
Is this why you didn't like Everything Everywhere All at Once?
A lot of it, yeah, just overcomplicated.
Wow,
dude,
this is where we have a very big difference. That's my favorite movie of the year.
Is it?
I absolutely love that movie.
Dude,
much.
I went with well, this is why you and Andre are friends.
Yeah.
Because I went with him, and I ended it, and I just like looked at him, and I was like, pfft. And he goes, "Fuck, best movie I ever seen." 10. I was like, what? I was like, did we watch the same thing? Yeah. But like those are other tropes, like when I talk about like the twists and stuff, not necessarily that had a twist, but like it was just so overcomplicated. It's like you could have got to whatever point you were trying to convey in like a more like straight, like you didn't have to overcomplicate
that's the multiverse.
But you didn't have to
Sure.
I mean, I guess if you're looking at it like that, like if it's about the multiverse, but then is it about the multiverse, or is it about this immigrant family trip with your mother? It's like, if it's about the multiverse, I'm in, and let's see some wacky shit, which was wacky, but then it like, no, let's bring this in. It's like those comedies. It's like, you can't just be funny. You have to have like a super emotional moment. It's like, just be funny. Barb and Star, pure comedy, insane. But it's like some other ones, you're like, oh, is this like drama, rom-coms, obviously everything's good, dramedies, whatever, but it's just kind of like, just be funny or just be that with that. And the other thing, like I said, is just overcomplicated.
Sure.
Like the thing that actually, when I was just done with it, was the damn bagel. I was like, dude, a bagel? Like what? And I just couldn't handle it anymore.
Just the weirdness. That's why I loved it, though.
Yeah, but like I like weird, but
Yeah.
like it's just like weird for the sake of being complicated.
Sure.
To me, that's what it was.
I enjoyed that movie because it was original. Like it wasn't based off of anything. And
Yeah.
I read a lot of the interviews with the directors, and they had been writing that movie for like 10 years because they were like doing research and everything.
There's insane details in it. And look, once again, going back, like there's magic in every movie, and I appreciate every movie, and I think there was some amazing, details, production, thought went into it. Like I'm not saying that, I'm just saying an amazing movie, an amazing accomplishment, just like wasn't for me for those reasons. Yeah.
And like the directors, that movie took so long for them to write and make that in that time. Like I don't know if you watch Rick and Morty or know anything about it, but that has a very that's an animated TV show that has a very dedicated fan base, and they had a whole season about the multiverse. And then obviously like the Spider-Man did the multiverse just now, and the directors became depressed because
Spider-Man beat him to it.
Both of those beat him to it, but like they were putting so much thought and effort into making this multiverse idea and like the science behind it, and they were just like, oh, it's a magic portal. They hop through, and they were like, damn it, like we're actually like putting effort into this, and you're just saying like, Doctor Strange, magic.
They're overcomplicating it. No, they're not. They're putting more. They're putting great care into it.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, hey, it's
their baby.
And maybe I need to know what the multiverse is to appreciate everything everywhere all at once, but I don't know what that is either. So I was just kind of like, what's happening?
Yeah, I feel like it came out at the right time because of the Spider-Man movie and the TV show. Like the multiverse, if it came out like 6 years earlier, no one has heard of a multiverse.
Yeah.
Unless you've read comic books, because the comic book multiverse has been a thing for a long time.
Yeah.
What's one movie that you saw that you just don't understand why people rate it so highly? Like in the annals of time.
Oh. Well, I'm very big on like the first thing that comes to mind and what popped in my head.
That's what you should.
I mean, it should be, right?
Yeah.
The first reaction is usually the right one. I'm just gonna go at it and say Prisoners.
Really?
I hate it.
Why? The one with Hugh Jackman and
Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Dano.
Is Paul Dano?
Yep.
Oh, Terrence Howard.
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Incredible director. I don't want like. This is the thing with this movie.
Sure.
Is it's not a bad movie, and like I'll watch it and be like, oh, that's fine. And like I watched it like, whenever it came out, like 7-10 years ago, whatever. And I was like, all right, that was like a good thriller. It was fine. But then I think since you asked like why people rate it so highly, and I think my like disdain for it is how other people view it. Because like 8 years later, people are like, Prisoners is the greatest thing ever. And, I saw basically like somebody said it was like better than 7. And I just decided to like wage a war on it. And I was just like, no, like it's not even like in the same thing. Like if you compare everything that 7 does, like basically like a psychological thriller and like what needs to happen in the psychological thrillers, the red herring, the killer itself, the this, the that, like if you get all those and put 7s and those together, like they don't even compare. Look, the acting is good, and but like I said, it's mainly how people view it. Like I forgot about the damn movie, and then like 10 years later, people are like, one of the greatest things ever, 7, all this. And I think that's mainly it. But to me, the script is actually like a mess, and it's very like disguised by Villeneuve's direction, good acting, and actually incredible cinematography. Mm-hmm. But the script, when you actually watch it on screen, is a mess. I mean, the dude like has a trunk full of snakes with blood like crawling around his feet, and he opens it up and it's actually full of not clothes of murdered children, but clothes that were stolen, bought at like a Goodwill,
something like
in
that,
a bag, so people would think they're murdered. And then but it's also filled with snakes and snake blood. And like when you actually think of that on paper, you're just like, what the hell does the maze mean, all that stuff. And I'll actually say this, like the script is, I have a lot more thoughts on it, but like even like the killer, the old lady, mm-hmm. and everything, like
that was a twist.
But she doesn't like hurt. And even the ending, like they want it to be what's it called, ambiguous ending, but it's like everyone knows he gets out, like they hear him, and then it's like that. And I guess they filmed it, the script is him getting out and everything, but like let's just leave it here. And I was like, it's not ambiguous, like everyone knows that's mm-hmm. happening, whatever. The killer like didn't even kill anyone. Mm-hmm. Like everyone got away. Like kids got away. Paul Dano got away. The kid that has the snakes and the maze thing, the weird kid, mm-hmm. that's the red herring, he got away. So like, is she dangerous, or like she's not that scary? She's mm-hmm. like an old lady that looks like bad grandma, like in a comedy mm-hmm. or something, like dressed up. I'm just like, but who did she like hurt? Like, because this kid's out, they're like psychologically messed up, but like she's a killer. The other two like tiny girls get out. So I'm just like, where is like the actual good things? But it goes so good, cinematically dark. Roger mm-hmm. Deakins, I think, is a cinematographer. Villeneuve, the actors are so good, and it's just very like disguised to do that. But I will tell you one thing about it also. The guy wrote the script, got paid a ton of money, and the script, since it's such a mess, sat on the shelf for like 3 years. Because everyone's like, this is what?
I love that though.
Yeah, and they're just like what? This is
I love that.
Trash.
Yeah.
Like, why would anyone like this is just a messy script. Like, I can't do anything with it. It's a mess. They actually hired Villeneuve because that's his first American language movie, because he did the French movies from Canada. So they kind of like brought him in as, like the ringer, like, hey, we're going to make you big stateside if you do this script that we paid a ton for mm-hmm. and has been sitting on the shelf because no one else wanted to touch it. And why did no one else want to touch it? Because it's a fucking mess. But everyone loves it. Sorry, that was a long rant.
This is what we're here to talk about. I saw that movie in theaters and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't.
You didn't think like I'm gonna go watch that again, or that was a masterpiece, classic?
I left being like, that was a good movie. Yeah. And then it got nominated for a bunch of Academy Awards. I'm like,
did it?
Yeah.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
And I was like, it's right, but I'm like, I don't think it did. I think it did. I think it got nominated for stuff.
Because that was the other thing I say is like, when I watched it, it wasn't anything, and then all of a sudden it's all a thing. I was like, well, why didn't it get nominated for anything back then if it was so good? If it was so good. But people are just coming around to it now. I don't know. But like I said, it's more how people treated it.
Sure.
And that was, I guess, kind of the question. Why do people... And like, yeah, it just pissed me off. But the one guy, someone said it was like, yeah, better than 7. I was like, no.
I disagree.
Yeah.
What's one
Sorry.
movie? So then
that was a long one, guys.
No, this is what we're here to talk about. On the flip, then, what's one movie that you saw, like whether it be in theaters or wherever, you saw for the first time and you're like, this is a masterpiece. But then no one else, you felt you were the only one carrying the flag.
Dude, this is so hard, these on the spots. But I will say, because that when I look at a question like that, it kind of falls into the kind of like underrated category.
Sure.
I mean, where to me, well, actually, there's a few like straight masterpieces that I think are like no one cares about, and one actually is a movie called Brigsby Bear, which is incredible. Oh, dude, it's so good. And that's a masterpiece. That's by Kyle Mooney.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kyle
I didn't even know he made anything.
Kyle Mooney wrote it. It's really just like an inspiring movie. And, you know, when I talk about masterpiece, I think it's like taking an idea, executing it well, but also in a very like original way with a very solid theme as well. And like there's better movies in it, but like another masterpiece in that realm, like a modern masterpiece that I think is misunderstood and I think people judged it wrong, Don John.
Oh, for sure. I love that movie.
Okay, good.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, good.
Because I saw that movie and I thought that was an amazing, like it was well written, it was well acted, it was well put together, everything.
Oh, good,
and then
good.
No one else was talking about it. I was like,
yeah.
Y'all missing out.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things when almost like a Boogie Nights where people are like, well, is that the Mark Wahlberg dick movie with porn? And it's like, yeah, but like that's not what it is. I'm like, Don John, oh, is that the one where he's addicted to porn? It's like, he's addicted to porn, but it tells a whole story of people, you know, and their expectations for life and relationships and everything and what is really important in those relationships in life. And that's why I thought like it executed that idea so well. Brie Larson, best supporting role in it. Doesn't say a word the whole time, and then just like finally speaks up and basically like throws out like somewhat of a thesis, at least of the movie in a way. But that was another good one. Another few I'm just like throwing them off now. Like I thought, have you seen Thunder Road? That one's insane, by Jim Cummings, who did like The Wolf of Snow Hollow, and he just did the beta test this year. That one's insane. Dude, I know there's a bunch of other ones. That's like such a hard one because I'm gonna be texting you later and be like, dude, this was the one.
Yeah.
But you know, on the spot how it is, it's like. But those were the first ones that like popped into my mind because those are kind of like my underrated, I guess, ones. Buffalo 66 was another one. Danny Castillo actually showed me that movie, and so obviously he knew about it and thought it was good enough to show me. And like we had like a little movie week we did always, and basically when he showed it to me, I was like, wow, how have I never like known this movie and why doesn't anyone really know about it? Buffalo 66 was Vincent Gallo, wrote, acted, directed. He actually like made original music for it, like did everything for it, and with Christina Ricci. It's a great movie.
There's a movie, it might be called Prospect. It's like a sci-fi movie.
Okay.
I think it's who plays the Mandalorian? He's like, is it Pedro Pascal? Is that his
Pedro Pascal?
I think it's called. I'm gonna have to look this up later. It's a sci-fi movie. It's him and a girl, which I just said I don't like that trope.
Yeah.
But this is why I think it's underrated because it hooked me. So it's a trope that I don't like, but I left that being like, this is the type of movie where he goes into. I feel like they use their whole budget on the opening shot because they're in space, and then the rest of it is just those two, and all the other characters are wearing masks, so you don't even see them. But it's called Prospect because he's like, I think it's called Prospect, but he's like mining a material on this alien planet.
Okay.
But it's with this girl, this like teenage girl, and they're like tied or stuck together because they have like a breathing thing between them.
Shoot.
And
sounds wild.
They're not like, they weren't supposed to be there together. Yeah. And then there's like a rival people trying to get this material. I saw it in an independent movie theater. And you're like, this is a masterpiece. And
Why
I
is
left
no one watching this?
I was like, this is the best sci-fi movie I've seen in like the last 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And then no one has heard of it. Huh. It's so good. My girlfriend, that's sci-fi is her thing. She's like, I've never heard of this movie. Huh. And
I never heard of it. And that is a pretty big actor. I mean, Pascal, the stuff he does is pretty big.
There are 2 people in the movie that have like lines. That's it. It's him and the girl. Huh. Everyone else is like yelling and like shooting or throwing things. Yeah. Like that's it. And the whole thing is shot, could have been in a rainforest. It's just like a foggy thing. And they're like they pick up this alien like egg. And they have to like cut it open. It's like a whole scientific process behind it. And they like can't figure it out. And
you watch and you're just like, this, how was no one talking about this?
Yes. I was captivated the entire time.
I love when that happens. 2 more I'll throw out there on the question just real quick because I already mentioned it. Honeyland. Masterpiece straight up, and I'll tell anyone that, and like no one watched it, even though it got supported for some Oscars. But even in 2020, which wasn't the best year for movies, there was a really good movie no one talked about. It's just devastating, like drama. So if you're not like ready just to be like depressed and devastated, then maybe not. But Pieces of a Woman.
Oh yeah. And
that was I was like, when it came out, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna like sweep the Oscars. Like this is such a good Oscar movie, and it was just devastating, exactly what they need. And then I think it got like 1 acting nomination. I was just kind of like, oh, no one cares. But that was a good movie. Like I said, just devastating, but yeah.
Well, this will end this first segment. I'm glad we ended.
We got some good ones.
I'm glad we ended the conversation the way we did because it will lead directly into the second segment, which we will be back after whatever commercial plays on the podcast network.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. I think you need your microphone. Welcome back, everyone.
I don't know how to do this.
To segment 2.
Okay.
Well, I haven't thought of names with these segments, but I thought it would be fun to, I'm
excited.
I know in MMA, I know we were going to talk about fighting, but like in MMA, everyone talks about, top 10, top 15, this and that.
I love lists.
So I thought, everyone loves lists. So I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of a listing, but specifically for Joe.
Okay.
We've talked about this topic a lot. That now we're going to make it official because we've talked about this before. We're like, we should do something like this later.
Okay.
So we have the last 10 years.
Oh my God.
Of Best Picture winners.
Oh, shoot.
And Joseph Benavidez.
Should I be looking at this?
If you want.
Okay.
And Joseph Benavidez is going to tell us what should have won.
Should have won that year?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to remember the nominees.
I got them right here.
Oh, you do?
I got them right here.
King. The thing is, I watch the Oscars every year. Me and José have big talks about it and everything. But, it's really hard to be like, which one was that? So I love it. I love this.
So if you want to write it in,
definitely
you can.
Should not have been this.
We'll get there. And there's a very specific year.
This is the best game I've ever played. I'm so excited right now.
If you want to write it, you can, or I can write it in for you.
It's kind of like a retrospect.
That's what I'm saying. The last time we did this, we did our Oscar preview show.
Can we go who should have won Best Actor, Actresses, everything?
Next time.
Maybe.
Next time. I wanted to do top 15 because the UFC does top 15, but I'm like, I don't think there's enough hours in the day.
This is the best. I dream of stuff like this.
I know you do.
This is incredible.
And I left, you might have noticed I left 2008 off because I know what year you think. That was the There Will Be Blood year.
Yeah, because 2007, 2008 Oscar, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
I love this.
We can start at the bottom and go up.
Yeah, let's go with the decade.
So we can start at the bottom and go up.
Let's go top to bottom, so keep it recent.
Do you want to write them in? Or do you want me to write them in?
I can write them in.
If you want. Or I can just reach over. It's up to you. Anyway, so we'll start at the top. 2021, of course, Coda. Children of Death. Children of Death Adult. Yeah. That one
should not have.
That shook me. I mean, we were saying before we went live, like there was a lot of deaf people in my family. My family's pretty invested in the deaf community. So my aunt was bawling her eyes out when she saw it because it hit home.
It was an incredible movie.
So what do you think do you want me to read the nominees off? Or is it still fresh in your mind? Because That night, me and you were just texting each other the whole time.
Yeah, well, we have. I mean, it's really weird because, there's Oscars, and we've talked about this on our thing, but then there's like favorites of the year. You know what I mean? And so we're picking from the nominees.
That's up to you.
We're not like this should have won, even though it's just like some obscure foreign movie.
This game, you can decide the rules for this.
Yeah.
If you want to base it just off the nominees, you can. If you want to just pull something out your ass.
I might get a little more, but I'm going to try to stick with the nominees.
Yeah, because there's some movies I don't
But I'm going to throw some in there. Yeah, because that just opens up another wormhole.
So the nominees, do you want me to read the nominees off? Do you remember? I'll read them off for the people.
So I know this year in general, Andrew Garfield should have won Best Actor over Will Smith. I'll just say that for Tick Tick Boom.
I'm in that camp. Anyway, Coda won. The other nominees were Belfast, Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up. Man.
Neither of those.
Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, and West Side Story.
Yeah. Well, Power of the Dog definitely should have won, and we talked about that because we did an Oscar episode on my old video podcast.
I think we both picked that, right?
So Power of the Dog should have definitely won out of the nominees. However, my favorite movie was like a kind of a three-way Barb and Star, Go to Vista Del Mar, Riders of Justice, and The Worst Person in the World. But I also really liked Red Rocket, Green Knight, which were...
Green Knight was my favorite movie.
Yeah, and I can't believe that it got 0.
Don't get me started.
And another one, yeah. But yeah, Power of the Dog definitely should have won this year. Can I do this?
Write it however you want.
I know, but I can like get in the camera like this.
Yeah. Power of the Dog. So 2021, the Academy Award goes to Power of the Dog.
And we're doing. We'll stick nominees because if not, I'll be like, well, that was my favorite movie.
Correct.
So we'll just go since we're Oscar people. We're award people.
We are.
We're highbrow over here.
The only other media person that is this invested into the Oscars, Matt Erickson from MMA Junkie. He's
into it.
He can tell me who's gonna win like months before because he's like goes, well, it got nominated for this and it won this, which means the Academy Award might have like voting fatigue for this. It's like he breaks it down to a science. Anyway, 2020.
You know what? While I'm at it, I'm gonna like search his best movies of that year, just so if something comes up that's not a nominee, I can kind of. Is that all right, or is it distracting?
Hey, this is your game. This is your game. 2020, Nomadland won.
No.
The other ones were The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and the Trial of the Chicago 7.
Of the nominees, I would say The Father or Minari probably should have won. Actually, and I think I wanted Minari to win of the nominees, was my favorite of the nominees. But that year, I really liked, like we already talked about, Promising Young Woman.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked. So I think, that everyone held out that year. Oh, not Promising Young Woman. Sorry, Pieces of a Woman.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't like Promising Young Woman at all.
Really?
No. I thought it was kind of bad. But yeah, of the nominees, Minari. And I think I wanted Minari to win that year.
You and Casey
of my pick.
I remember
Minari.
When I think of Minari, I think of your media day scrum before your Ask Our Off fight. I asked you for your pick, and then you were just like, "Everyone, go away. We're gonna talk about Minari."
Dude, I love that. We've been disrupting Fight Talk forever.
Yeah. So and then Casey in our Slack channel was just like, "Talk more Minari content." So, are you going with Minari that year?
I'm going with Minari that year, and I know my favorite movie of that year,
for the bad handwriting. Anyway.
I know my favorite movie of that year.
Hit me.
And it actually won Best Foreign Picture. No. Did it? Yeah, it did. Because Minari wasn't in foreign for some reason, because it was like half English.
Mm-hmm.
Won Best Foreign, didn't get a Best Picture nominee, but Best Movie of 2020, going back to the masterpieces we talked about in segment 1, Another Round. Oh my God.
Yeah. I remember.
God.
That was the first Jacksonville UFC card after like the big pandemic. You walked up to me and it wasn't like hello or How's Life, you were just like, have you seen Another Round? And I was like,
Do I write it in?
And I was like, hello, Joe.
I didn't even say hi. I'm sorry. Did I write it in too? I'm
Dude,
sorry.
man.
Well, we are sticking with Oscar nominees, so I'm just gonna behave.
Yeah.
Because if not, we're gonna be all right.
That's funny.
But yeah, Oscar. I remember. It's all coming back to me. I'm really bad with years.
Yeah.
And like long-term stuff like that. Like when I fought like José Formiga for the second time, I thought I was like, oh yeah, I fought him like 2 years ago. It was a good win. And everyone's like, that was 6 years ago. And I was like, It was? So anyway, I have no like concept of time. But yeah, that year I specifically remember like, all right, best pictures, Minari, I hope gets it. My favorite.
That wasn't a very strong year for movies.
No, because everyone was holding out because of the pandemic and the releases and stuff.
Yeah.
But Another Round was the best movie of that year and like one of the best I've seen in recent memory. God, that was so good.
All right, 2019 Parasite won. I saw this movie at the Independent Theater in Arizona. I love Parasite.
It was good.
The other nominees were Ford vs. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a strong year.
2019 was the strongest year. Like two of my favorite movies aren't even nominated. What I will say about Parasite, I like it too, but it's more about what we talked about earlier, like how people like it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it was really good, but like I think everyone just was like
so hyped on it.
Like is good as it is, best picture worthy, like it's still overrated just because how people like
people say it's one of the best ever. And
and it's like it's really good, but
it's
like
super unique,
and it's Oscar worthy, but like I just hate how good people think it is.
And it's
anyway,
super unique movie.
I'm sorry, man.
No, this is what it's all about.
2019. If I'm a Best Picture guy and I'm an Oscar Academy, like if I was in the Oscar Academy, I'd probably maybe give my ballot to Little Women, which was like
really, that is not what I thought.
Oh my god, I love Little Women, love Greta Gerwig, love Saoirse Ronan, but if I was on the Oscar ballot, like as me, I would try to breathe some new life and genre into it and give it to Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah. So I thought Parasite was my pick that year. If I had a vote, I probably would have gone with Parasite, but Jojo Rabbit would. 1917 was so fun though.
Yeah, it was really good.
Jojo Rabbit. Yeah, it's between those two, I think.
1917 and Jojo?
No, Jojo and Parasite. I couldn't go wrong with either one. I felt I had more emotions from Jojo Rabbit, for sure. But I remember leaving Parasite, and I was like, that was such a unique movie.
Yeah.
Like, the storyline and everything. Like, because I'm a big, like, if I can't predict what's going to happen, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Like, you obviously know a lot of what's going to happen in Jojo Rabbit because it's based in, like, a historical setting anyway. But one of those two. So, you're going with Jojo.
I'm going with Jojo, like I said. Little Women was in my top 5 that year of a tough year. I love Marriage Story, was very Oscar worthy as well. But I think the Oscars like need something like that, something fun, some satire, like a bit, to win these things. And so if I was there casting, I'd be like, this would be good, I think, for the Oscars. And probably was my favorite movie of the nominees as well. But Little Women was strong.
What, 2018? This one I have a big issue with.
I got huge issues with this.
I don't even think Green Book was one of the top 10 movies of the year.
I'm going just off the bat. I know Roma, The Favorite, and I actually really liked A Star Is Born as well.
So that year, Green Book won. Not even Spike Lee thought that. Won. It was Green Book, Black Panther. Fine.
I like that it was nominated. Like I think all movies should have like no movie like the Oscars shouldn't be so highbrow that like movies don't get nominated. I think they could give it to like Red Rocket, like we talked about.
100% agree.
Like they should have fun movies.
It was. I just don't think it was one of the top 10 movies of the year. But I think it's a hugely important movie. And side note, Angela Bassett is obviously going to be one of the main characters of the sequel, and she's already getting Oscar buzz for that role in that movie.
In Black Panther?
In Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
It's about to come out.
See, I think that's cool that movies like, superhero big budget movies get nominees, so I'm fine with it. Sorry, go on.
So it's Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice. There's a lot of movies in here that I didn't think should have been nominated.
Bohemian Rhapsody was one of the maybe most overrated movies in the decade.
You know that one, best editing?
For the worst editing there's ever been, literally ever. Ever.
It's bad.
Like, when I watched it, I was like, what made this movie mad? Like, the editing was so terrible. Like, it looked like a high school student was exploring, worse. And then it won. And I was like, and even the actor, no. Bradley Cooper singing his own songs. Another guy puts in, look, Rami's cool, whatever. I'm just speaking the truth. Literally puts in fake teeth and lip sings.
Yeah.
And Bradley Cooper's over there transformed and singing himself, which is acting. If we're playing acting, he's singing. One guy's lip singing with fake teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And wins. Anyway,
so what do you think should have won that year?
Whew. It's between Roma and The Favorite.
Roma's my pick. That one.
Roma's so good. I'm going to give it to Roma. I loved The Favorite, though, as well. But best picture-wise, I think Roma was a little more meaningful for a best picture.
Yeah, that one hit home, too, obviously.
God, it was beautiful.
2017, Shape of Water won. I actually love that movie.
It was good.
Shape of Water won. The other nominees were...
This was a good year.
It was. Call Me By Your Name, The Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. This is a strong
year. So right now I'm between...
You were a big Lady Bird fan.
Favorite of the decade.
Yeah, I remember.
Once again, just simple character, complex, something you can continue to get more out of, every watch as well. I love Phantom Thread. Big PTA guy. But I'm going to be between... what was like the
Call Me By Your Name?
Call Me By Your Name and Lady Bird. So... It's really weird because when we're like Lady Bird, I'll say was my favorite of the decade, like straight up. Favorite movie. We'll watch it. Instant classic when I watch it. We're going to watch it the rest of my life. Call Me By Your Name was like a best picture, like challenging movie to watch.
I was really, like we talked about it earlier where you like when you see like Black Panther get nominated, like those types of movies. I was really happy a monster movie. Like essentially a monster movie won
Shape
Best
of Water.
Picture. Yeah, I thought that was awesome. I'm like, good on you. I also love Guillermo del Toro. Who's obviously
Guillermo's
like another deaf actress, so it was like it's cool to see. Like,
you didn't love My Nightmare Alley this year?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Guillermo's the man though.
I understand that movie is a good movie. I just wanted more of the carnival.
Yeah.
Like once they left the carnival, they lost me.
Yeah. It was kind of definitely split into two. Well, I can't not give it to Lady Bird.
Yeah.
I mean, how great would it be for Lady Bird to win a Best Picture? I have terrible handwriting.
Hey, we both do.
Best movie.
Best movie of the decade.
Oh, I already know what should win this year, 2016. What actually did win for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, so... For the listeners and the viewers, Moonlight, of course, won. Do you remember any of the other ones, nominees, off the top of your head?
Dude, like I said, I'm so bad with years. Once you start throwing them out, I remember.
This is, I think, really top heavy.
Strong year.
It's the top of the list. Like the top 3 or 4, all have an argument.
Yeah.
But it's like a fourth film race. It's Moonlight, Arrival, which I was really happy got nominated.
Arrival's nice.
Fences, which was a very good acting, I think.
Okay.
Hacksaw Ridge. Not my thing.
Okay.
Garfield. Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, and Manchester by the Sea.
There's some weak movies in there.
There are. So
very weak.
So when I say it's like top heavy, I think Manchester by the Sea, Moonlight, La La Land, and Arrival were my big 4 that year.
Yeah. Some in there I'm just like, what?
Hidden Figures was an important movie. Hell or High Water. Actually, Hell or High Water was really good.
They were good, but they were just like... not run of the mill, but like run of the mill for what they were. Like,
Correct.
oh, cool, like country violent, like Western.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, like kind of like biopic of an important, like lesser told story. All just very like simplistic in those ways. But like best picture winners, no. But La La Land, all day.
Yeah, I mean,
Like that's. I said that was one of my favorite of the decade.
I probably would
obsessed
pick
with that.
Manchester by the Sea for myself, just because I've actually been to Manchester by the Sea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are we putting both of us? Our
No, this is all you, man. This
it's all
literally,
me?
this says Joe's list.
Oh shit! I'll take it.
This is Joe's list.
We're both Joe. Kind
That's
of,
true.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
You're
Anyway,
you're the more Mexican Joe.
well,
Jose.
my last name is Youngs, which is
Yeah.
Irish, and you're Benavidez, so
But
it plays
Jose
out. That's true.
is the more Mexican Joe.
That's the
I
most.
guess.
That's the most Mexican name there is. Anyway, 2015 Spotlight won.
Oh, I remember
Really-
this shouldn't have won. I really hope at some point I pick a winner. Like I'm like that was the right choice, and
So
I think I
this-
see it in 2014.
I think this was. I get why Spotlight won, and like growing up in New England,
this is the most fun game I've ever played in my
I'm
life.
so happy you
Thank
said that. So Spotlight was a big deal back in New England because it obviously took place in New England. It was like the whole thing. But Spotlight won. The other ones were The Big Short, which I had a lot of fun watching.
I didn't understand a single like
Neither
concept
did I.
they said. I was
Neither
just
did I.
like,
Bridge of
okay.
The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, which was I think well acted, but the plot itself was pretty just straightforward.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, Mad Max Fury Road, which is my pick that year. The Martian, The Revenant, and Room. It's a lot of star power in this one. Because you got Leo, you got Brie Larson, you got...
Wow. That's really... I don't think there's a lot of strong ones there.
I think Mad Max Fury Road is the one to go with in my mind. That movie was bananas to me.
You love that movie.
Oh, I think that's the best... No, I don't even think. I know. That's the best action movie of all time in the history of... A lot of people will say, like...
I would say that because also the way it was filmed was everything. Like it was an actual action movie. Like they
Yeah,
were...
a lot of people will pick Die Hard, but I think Mad Max Fury Road is the best. That cleaned up that year. That won everything.
Mad Max did.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
won
I was so
everything.
surprised because I didn't love it. Just because I'm not an action guy. I respected the craft of it. I was like, wow, this costume design, this set design, I was just, I guess, the whole, like, once again, there's things you get from certain movies. So if I want an action movie, I'm like, well, the action will have, like, a very, like, thought out plot.
It was
of,
just
like,
aesthetically
this,
such a beautiful movie, like unique movie. Like you said, the costumes, the setting, the cars,
Yeah.
everything about it. I thought. Plus, like selfishly, I really like the lore and the world of Mad Max. I love that franchise. Mel Gibson aside, I love that franchise so much, and I'm really excited for Furiosa when it comes out.
That's gonna be awesome. So I don't really think that's a strong year.
The Revenant was really popular. The Leo, when he got eaten by ripped up by a bear.
Yeah, and then he won his first Best Actor. So
Room
Can
was
I-
also really good. Yeah,
can I-
hey,
can I-
this is your game.
can I maybe for this one year, since
Yeah,
I don't like the
100%.
nomination, step out of the Best
This
Pictures?
is your game, man.
Because if it's the nominees, I'd probably do The Revenant.
Sure.
Just for the achievement of it and the story and everything. Like Mad Max was the achievement, but it was kind of like just too like fun, less
Sure.
serious of an achievement. Where like The Revenant kind of had a little of everything. And I'm a big Inarritu fan as well. But my best movie of that year and didn't get a nomination, Ex Machina.
Wow, that didn't get. Wasn't aware that was that year. That didn't get nominated.
I think it was, dude.
That's crazy. 2014.
Oh,
It was 2014, yeah. So 2015,
2015 Oscars, right? Well, wait a second. Oh yeah, we're gonna give it to it.
Sure, why not? It's your game. I can't believe that didn't get nominated then.
Yeah. If I'm wrong and someone's like, "Oh, dude, that was this year," because we're bad with years,
Sorry about it.
Then I'm gonna go Revenant.
So 2014 is very strong.
Ooh, this was a good year, and I actually think
super strong.
I think I'm with the Oscars on this
So
one because I
this
love
one,
Birdman.
I had it came down to 3. The top 10, I think the top 10 were the top 10 of that year. And it's a 3-person race. And Birdman won, which I am completely fine with.
Yes.
The other ones were American Sniper, wasn't a big fan of.
Okay.
Boyhood, which I loved. That's the one where they filmed like once a year.
Boyhood was incredible for like 18 years or something, right? No.
Yeah, something like that. Grand Budapest.
Linklater is my favorite. Have you seen the Sunrise trilogy?
Of course.
Greatest thing ever.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Okay.
Imitation Game, which is just a biopic.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Selma.
With Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yep, Selma. Fine movie. Great soundtrack. Theory of Everything, which won the Best Actor that year. And Whiplash.
Ooh.
So to me, it's between Birdman, Boyhood, and Whiplash.
Whiplash coming in strong there. I'm gonna stick with Birdman.
Yeah?
I'm gonna stick with Birdman. Love Boyhood. Didn't actually love Whiplash on the first watch, but the second watch, I was like, oh my God. I think the first watch, I thought it was like so over dramatic for like jazz.
Yeah.
And like I got obviously the like obsession theme, but I was like, he's playing the drums. Like, why is it so crazy and everything? And why is the teacher so extreme about jazz? But then the second time, I guess I kind of missed the whole part of him saying how he was even putting on an act as an actor, like as the teacher was kind of putting on an act because he was told you kind of have to push to your limits for that. And like I got that theme the whole time is like, oh, he's pushing him to his limits. But the fact he kind of went back on his own behavior and said like, this is why I did that to you. I was like, oh. Okay.
That was a good ending though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was great. Yeah.
So you're going to stick with Birdman?
I'm going to stick with Birdman, baby.
Yeah. Did you ever see that video clip of Michael Keaton putting his speech away because he didn't win that year? Everyone thought he was going to win.
Oh, no.
So, and then obviously Eddie Redmayne won for
Theory of Everything,
which is, he did a really good job. I just thought Michael Keaton was better. But like, so when Eddie Redmayne's going up, like to accept his award, you see in the background Michael Keaton like putting his speech back in his.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh, that's heartbreaking. Anyway, 2013, a lot of movies that I think aren't like there's one like the nominees like Grand Budapest Hotel, like Boyhood, Whiplash, like these are like cinephiles love these movies, but maybe not the wide public. They're not blockbusters. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think 2013 had a lot of really popular movies that were nominated. So 12 Years a Slave won. The other ones were American Hustle, which had every actor in it ever. Captain Phillips, starring Tom Hanks, which was a really popular movie. Dallas Buyers Club with Jared Leto and Matthew McConaughey.
I already know it's going to win this year.
I know. We're getting there. Gravity, which I thought was a fun movie. Her. That might
Her's
be
outstanding.
That's on my overrated movie list.
Oh,
because when I went to see that movie with my friends, I said, imagine if this is how the movie ends. That would be so dumb and silly, and that's exactly how the movie ended. And I was like, God, I hate this movie. Nebraska, Philomena, and Wolf of Wall Street. Now we all know what Joe's gonna pick.
Oh yeah, we're going to. Wolf of Wall Street has to be.
Probably should have won actor too.
Should have won. Well, that's why I hate Dallas Buyers Club because McConaughey and Leto beat Jonah and Leo.
Yep.
And then Wolf of Wall Street didn't even win Best Picture.
12 Years a Slave is really good.
Yeah. No, I mean it is, and obviously, and it's important.
But would you agree, like, there are a lot of popular movies on this list? It's not like just cinephile.
Yeah, there is.
Favorites.
I felt the same way. Was that 15 with, like, the Black Panther and some of those other ones?
Yeah. That Black Panther was 2018 with, like, Roma and Star is Born.
Oh, yeah. One of them had some very
2017 is pretty big.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Wolf of Wall Street, Best Picture.
Just write wow.
Top 5 Scorsese.
Yeah, just write wow. That's a long name. That was your performance of the decade.
Yeah, performance of the decade. Yeah. It was. Top 5 Scorsese as well. I'm going to give a shout out to American Hustle though.
That was a good movie.
Because I just really like the acting in that, and Bradley Cooper and Christian Bale. are so
Oh,
good
yeah.
in that.
Oh, yeah.
Bradley Cooper,
Amy
I love him
Adams
so
and everything.
much. Yeah,
Jennifer Lawrence, right? And
She's
Jeremy
in it.
Renner.
Jeremy
I saw that
Renner.
movie in theaters too. Anyway,
That's a great movie.
2012, Top Heavy 2, I think. And I actually really like
Argo's a strange one.
Did you see that movie? Right? In theater? I saw that
Argo?
movie in theaters and my heart was pounding at the end. That was a tense movie.
Yeah, it was, but you know what I mean? It's once again like it's one of those ones that's like tense, and then you're just kind of like, oh, you know what
There's
happens.
also like Ben Affleck wasn't nominated for Best Director. I don't think.
He wasn't?
No, but it won Best Picture, and I think that's one of the few. Or he got nominated but didn't win. And usually, if you win Best Picture, you're probably going to win
At
Best
least
Director.
nominated. I always think that's weird because the director makes the movie,
Yeah,
and then they don't get nominated.
like Dune this past year.
Yeah. That was crazy. Dune literally gets everything the director nominated for everything the director actually does, and
Yeah,
then
he did not.
for best
He did not
director.
get nominated for Best Director that year.
What?
But it won. It won Best Picture. Anyway, the other nominees were Amor, Beast of the Southern Wild, which is a super underappreciated film, I think.
Amor made me feel really weird.
Oh,
That's a tough movie.
Django Unchained, Life of Pi, Lincoln, which won Best Actor, Les Miserables, Silver Lining Playbook, which a lot of people love.
My favorite.
And Zero Dark 30.
The Master wasn't nominated. What? Huh. Best Picture. I'm going to go with, of the nominations, so The Master not being nominated is crazy. One of the best. And they didn't win. Oh, well, it's Daniel Day-Lewis for actor. Silver Linings Playbook is probably my favorite movie of the bunch.
That's a lot of. You'd be surprised at how many people I meet. That's their favorite movie ever in general.
It's one of those, like, I'm just going to watch it all the time because
Yeah.
it kind of gives me a little of everything.
Yeah.
Like, it has a proper amount of, like, sadness, funniness.
Jennifer Lawrence won for that year,
She
right?
won, yeah. Which I think she actually overacted in a
Yeah.
few scenes.
Yeah.
But she was fine, whatever. But I'm actually going to go with Django.
That movie rules. It's a
Dude,
wicked soundtrack.
Best Picture, and it's a cinematic experience. I remember watching that in the theater, and I was just like, wow, like,
One of the few movies where, because like I think I can watch like a violent movie, a horror movie, because I'm like this is just a movie. This isn't actually happening to a human being right now.
Yeah.
There are scenes in Django where I'm like, this is hard to watch.
Yeah.
I can't watch this right now, and I'll like kind of like turn away for a bit. Like
Yeah.
when they have the two guys fighting in front of the fireplace.
Yeah.
And there's no music. It's just like the sounds of
just
human
the
flesh.
sound of thuds.
I'm
That's
just like,
much like the Apex.
Yes.
You're just like,
Or
there's
when
no sound.
when the runaway slave gets like ripped apart by dogs, I'm just like,
Yeah,
this is
that's a tough time.
brutal.
Yeah.
This is brutal.
At least in a Tarantino movie, they can kind of like bring it back.
Yeah. And
with Christoph Waltz
Yeah.
or doing something funny and just being overly violent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's violence like Kill Bill where it's like cartoonish violent. Like
Yeah.
you cut a guy's head off and just sprays.
Yeah.
Or like Pulp
But that
Fiction.
stuff's like tough. Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the best soundtracks.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard, like top to bottom. But like when they turn the music off, because the music is so good that when there's no music, you notice it.
Yeah.
And I think obviously that's why Quentin Tarantino is a master. Anyway, wrapping up 2011, the artist one.
Oh, I remember this was such a weird year.
This is my pick because we were talking about like movies that you see that you just don't understand the hype.
Yeah.
This is one of mine.
Really?
I did not care for this movie at all.
It's a silent film, right?
Yeah, well, until the very last second. I did not care for this movie. I was also in my senior year of college, and I went to school for film study.
Wow.
And everyone in my class was like, this is the best movie I've seen. I'm like, is it? Like, is it? Like, you're just saying
You're
that.
just saying that because it's black
You're
and
just
white
saying
and
that.
silent.
Yeah. So I'm not a big fan. Anyway, The Descendants, extremely loud and incredibly close. The Help, Hugo, Midnight in Paris, Moneyball, Tree of Life, and War Horse.
Ooh. Well, I know my favorite of the bunch, Midnight in Paris, no doubt. Oh my God. Tree of Life feels like a Best Picture winner.
That movie was a trip.
Crazy movie. I was trying to get into Terrence Malick for a while. I got in like 3 movies.
I can do like one a month.
I
I'm just
did,
like, whoa.
yeah. I did a few, but I did like Tree of Life. Feels like a Best Picture winner.
That
Midnight
one, like
in Paris,
everything else that year.
Midnight in Paris, 100% my favorite of the bunch. But you know what other movie was that year? Drive.
Ooh.
I believe. But we're
Talk
gonna go.
about a great soundtrack.
We're gonna go nominees, and I'm gonna go Midnight in Paris.
There you go.
Love that one.
I don't even know what I would pick that year. War Horse I thought was pretty overrated. Hugo was fun. Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close was good.
Weird year.
Health was fun. I liked Moneyball because I like baseball, but I don't think that was one of the best movies of the year. I thought The Descendants was really good with George Clooney.
Yeah, Moneyball was good too. Bennett Miller, where's he been? He hasn't done.
Yeah, seriously.
anything in a while.
Anyway, there you go, folks.
There we go, guys.
The top 10. Joe, I think you picked one of the only. Well, Birdman was the only one.
Birdman was the only one.
Which is the most egregious winner?
That means shouldn't have won.
Yeah, like you are just like some of these. I'm sure like Parasite wasn't your pick, but you can understand why it won.
Yeah.
Same as like Moonlight and Spotlight.
Well,
I think
yeah.
Green Book. I
Yeah,
think is
well, some
pretty
of them-
egregious.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna say, given the competition, probably Green Book. Yeah, I'm gonna actually say, yeah, probably Green Book, and I think it's kind of known in movie circles it being the most egregious winner.
So you know
I
when you-
actually think Coda is up there as well, but I'll give it to it once again because, like, that belongs there and it should happen, and it has a certain, you know what I mean, like it has a certain set of people that it like touches. Like Green Book, I guess, does too. It's a true story, Green Book, right? But Coda, once again, like even for having that and doing everything different, I love the deaf actors winning, but it just felt like the theme of it was like pretty simple. You know, like the different, what stood out was having real deaf actors in the story, but like the concept, the theme of it, like the story, the plot was just a very simple,
Straightforward.
like, oh, this is gonna be a good, like, feel good movie, and that's kind of what it was. But I'm gonna go with Green Book.
I remember Spike Lee did like his little press conference,
Especially for the competition.
Yeah.
Like, they had
yeah.
Roma, The Favorite, and A Star Is Born all could have.
Like I remember Spike Lee won for Black Klansman for screenplay, and he did like, you know, they go and they talk to the press right after, and someone asked him about it, and he just like looked and like just started drinking his champagne. He's like, no comment. yeah, good job. So, anyway, this is Joe's list.
This is great.
Tell us in the comments whether you're wrong or we're right, but you know.
I can't wait for the comments.
I can't either.
Give it to me.
Anyway, we'll be back with the third and final segment after. Any other thoughts you want to say about any of these things? Minari is a good one. I forgot that movie even existed, but I might have to go watch it again.
Yeah.
I only saw that movie once.
Yeah, 2020 was another round.
God, Ex Machina not winning is a weird one. Or not winning nominated, yeah.
No, I mean,
Wow.
they're all pretty good. I mean, I'm glad we did it with nominees because we're all
I know.
people.
Yeah.
Because other than that, like if I had to do a list that year, I think it'd be a little harder.
We'll do another one with acting next time. So anyway, this is the list. Tell us your list in the comments and this and that. But we'll be back again after whatever commercial you get on the podcast network. Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the inaugural episode of Anything But Fighting. We talked a lot about movies. So now we're gonna bring on. We can get this out of here. This was this is my curtain.
Oh yeah, I was like, what is
Pull it off.
that was cool.
This is the bucket. I'm going to call it the bucket, and I think of random questions at every point in my life. And I said I should ask, but none of it has to do with fighting. It's just like random stuff. So we're going to pull
Jazz legend Marcus the Worm Hicks. Sorry.
So I'm going to pull a question out of this bucket, and Joe, you can give me a one-word answer.
I can't wait.
You can ramble. These are the most random
They're
questions.
just random. It's not
like,
movies.
Some of them are about movies. Some of them are about
shit.
food. Some of them are about music.
This is the most fun time I've ever had.
I'm glad you said. Anyway, first question out of the bucket. Jason, Michael Myers, or Freddy Krueger?
I'm gonna go Michael Myers. And like I talked about earlier, I'm not a big horror fan, but my friend used to dress as Michael Myers. I love how he's like silent. I think the mask is like nice and simple.
It's a Shatner mask. It's William
it's
Shatner.
simple. Yeah, it's William Shatner.
Someone called Jordan Peele the greatest horror director ever on Twitter, and Jordan Peele goes, I will not have any John Carpenter. Like, I will not let anyone put me over John Carpenter.
Oh, nice.
So, like, good on you. But yeah, I agree. Michael Myers, like,
Did you watch Nope?
I saw it in IMAX the day it came out.
Oh, okay.
Loved it.
We'll talk about it later.
I loved it. Anyway, Tupac or Biggie?
Well, there's a Biggie and Tupac
Poster
right behind us, a portrait. I'm gonna go with Tupac. I just listen to it. Me and Megan actually talk about it all the time. But we basically are Biggie and Tupac. We're like, that's why the poster's in here, because we're like East and West Coast. We're basically, it's a metaphor. Like we're total opposites, but like for a moment, that's captured there. But our moment in life is like we are, you know what I mean? We are as one. So
I think Pac is.
I listen to Pac more, and I think he has a little more.
I think Pac is the greatest rapper ever, but I think Biggie has the greatest flow ever. Pac was a much better freestylist. Biggie was not a very good. He had good freestyles. He wasn't that good off the dome.
Yeah.
I'm from the East Coast.
Yeah.
I gotta say Biggie, but I'd like Pac. I think is the greatest.
Pac's a little more iconic as well.
I agree. He was more of like he's an icon.
Yeah.
Anyway, when's the last time you completed a crossword puzzle?
Never.
Oh wow. Anyway,
I love like trivia and questions, but it was just never something like I did.
2 people you wouldn't mind being stuck in the middle of on a cross-country flight.
My wife and my dog. But if we're gonna go,
Could be anything.
I would say Tim Robinson and Taylor Swift. I think would be.
I thought you were gonna say
cool.
Kanye and Taylor Swift just for the back and forth.
That would be great. But we were talking about Tim Robinson already.
Yeah.
Kanye and Taylor Swift would be incredible.
That'd be.
Oh man, dude, that's a fire question because I could go on forever. But I think Tim Robinson. Let's go this: Tim Robinson and Kyle Mooney for my comedic chops. Kanye and Taylor Swift for my music, and then that's fine.
Whoop. 5 favorite Marvel superheroes. Doesn't have to be the movies.
I don't know if I know 5. Batman?
That's DC.
Joker?
That's a DC supervillain.
That's not a superhero.
No. So it'd be the Avengers, Spider-Man.
I don't know any.
X-Men, Wolverine, Doctor Strange, all those cats.
Iron Man?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Iron Man.
Iron Man. So we'll just do top 1. Iron Man.
I'm going to do Iron Man. It's
All
cool.
Right. Respect. Ooh. What's one basic word you can never spell correctly the first time?
Funny enough, like, even today, prefer.
Okay.
Because I always, like, I forget, is it like prefer or prefer?
I can't spell definitely.
Definitely?
I always like
that's a
add
tough
an
one.
extra T or an extra L. I can't spell fatigue either.
Oh, hilarious also?
Ooh.
Because I always
the
think
OUS
it's
stuff.
I think it's 1 L and I always think it's 2. I think it's 1 L, right? Hilarious?
It is 1.
Yeah, I always
It
think
is
it's 2. Like hilarious.
5 best Halloween candies.
There's a lot of words I can't say though, which is funny. Halloween candies?
5 best Halloween candies.
Oh shit. Smarties are classic.
Okay.
Especially I mean any actual like mini size candy bar.
Yeah.
Because like candy and candy bars are different. So mini candy bars I feel like really changed the game with Halloween candy, like Twix, Snickers, Smarties. I think we need something like sour, like a sweet tart.
Okay. There you go. No wrong answers.
Dude, I don't know. Those were just the first.
No wrong answers.
Once again, it's the mind thing.
Sure.
It's like those came into my head. They must be right. My mind must have told me for a reason.
This is a question that I'm pretty confident almost no fighter will be able to answer.
Okay.
How many prime numbers can you name? I'd be shocked if just people in life can name 5 prime numbers.
Oh, like 81?
81? That's a
that
good
one?
one. Well, no, 81 is not a prime number because
It's
that's 9
not?
times 9. A prime number is anything times a full number. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. Like nothing times nothing. Something times something can't equal 17 if it's a whole number. Like obviously you throw decimals in there.
Oh.
So it's weird. It's weird numbers like that.
Oh, dude. No.
Yeah, see? I threw
bet
that
there's-
in there because I base, like when I have to pick a number, I'm always like prime number 7.
There's some guys out there that could do
I'm
it.
sure. But
But-
I threw that in there because I always ask people that.
I'm not the guy.
I ask everyone that, and almost I don't know a lot of people that can name.
I
10.
like math, but
Ooh, Charlie Brown Christmas or How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
Grinch all day.
Live action or animated?
Live action.
Yep.
But I'm also gonna throw in Muppet Christmases there. Good times.
Most overrated musician.
Most overrated musician.
So I guess it could be like, what's one like we talked about? What's a movie that you just don't understand the hype around, and you chose Prisoners? What's a musician that you're just like, I don't get it?
Damn it. There's a ton of them, but I'm actually gonna. Dude, I'm drawing a blank. It's not good. Because I can think of musicians I like, but not that I don't. Well, honestly, I wouldn't say I don't get it, but... Dude. I was going to say I don't like Drake, but
He's my pick.
I get why he's like why people like him. I guess
I don't get it
because
at
it's
all.
very like a formulaic sound.
Copy paste.
But
Copy paste.
I guess I would say Drake.
That's my
just
answer
off the
for
bat.
sure.
Even though this is the thing, I used to hear him and be like, oh, this is cool. But then I heard more. I was like, is that the same one or whatever? So yeah, I
Go Drake?
I would go Drake. And probably any of the people that I don't know that everyone likes. Like
Sure.
all the new rappers that I'm like, oh, what does this guy sound like? Like whatever, like crazy, like
Like
name.
Lil Yachty, Migos,
Yeah,
Lil
like
Zane, Young Thug.
like knife master, tire thumper,
That's a dope name.
or whatever.
Sure.
And then you just like listen to it and you're just like, dude, why? So like all those ones.
Generational music, I guess. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Only if it has a banana instead of a weenie.
Okay. Sure. No wrong answers.
Yeah.
One art piece, the most captivating art piece you've ever seen.
Ooh. The most captivating art piece I've ever seen, it's actually two, and one is a modern version of a classic piece. The classic version is Hieronymus Bosch, The Garden of Earthly Delights. And the modern version, inspired by that, 3D and way bigger, is called Triptych by Dustin Yellen. Whew, and I could stare at that. Like, I mean, I did stare at it forever, every time before I went in a gym. It was out there. But Triptych by Dustin Yellen and Hieronymus Bosch, Garden of Earthly Delights.
Go look it up, folks. Joe
Yeah,
knows
dude.
his art.
Yeah.
Joe
I
knows. We could have done an episode on art, honestly.
I got a Jeff Koons and a well, that's not really a Jeff Koons.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a fake
yeah.
Jeff Koons.
Yeah, yeah.
But then that's actually famous artist. But then I was looking at the Murakami
Oh, right,
album
right, right.
cover.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though it's a Kanye, Kid West, or Kid Cudi.
If you had to star in a musical, which musical would it be?
La La Land.
There you go.
Because I love the
Probably
character
Probably
Sebastian
would have picked Rent.
a lot.
I love Rent. One fictional character you would love to fight.
One fictional character I'd love to fight. Oh my God, dude, these are so hard because I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah.
Like, a day doesn't go by that I like watch a movie. I'm like, God, I wish I could punch that guy. You know what I mean? And then you get the chance to actually punch him theoretically, and you're like, who would it be?
Mine is Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter, without question.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I think that's a lot of people's pick.
dude. This. I mean, I never seen the Harry Potters. This is really hard. I just don't have one off the bat.
We'll circle back.
We'll circle back. I'm sorry.
You know what? Text me.
I'm
What you thinking?
retired. I'm retired.
Think of-
I don't punch people
Yeah,
anymore.
That's a good question.
There we go.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke?
Sure. King Kong or Godzilla?
King Kong or Godzilla? King Kong?
Sure.
He sounds cool.
He's dope. Oh, Judge Dredd, Predator, or Alien?
Predator. I don't really know why
Okay.
or any reason.
Okay.
It just. I
Have
think,
you seen? Okay. Have you seen Prey, the new movie on Hulu?
No, I heard
My
it's good, though.
God,
I heard
that
it's good.
movie is
bad or good?
unbelievable.
Oh, it's good?
I was
Everyone said it's really good.
floored by that movie. That's already the best Predator movie ever.
Really?
It is unreal how good that movie is. The characters, the writing, the setting, it's so basic. I love that movie.
Everyone actually said it's incredible. Like, and it's a
so
remake.
good.
That's why I think everyone's
It's not a remake. It's like a prequel.
It's like a yeah. Everyone says it's amazing.
Okay, two-parter. 5 best Tom Hanks movies.
Not Elvis, even though he's just supporting, but
Sure.
that was terrible. He almost ruined it for me. That's my favorite movie so far, 2022. But anyway, 5 best Tom Hanks movies? That sucker. Well, Forrest Gump, incredible. Big, incredible. Dude, there's so many.
There's so many.
There's so many. Because, like, the musical one is really good, but A League of Their Own is really good. The Burbs.
Burbs is super underrated.
Is fire.
I'm also, not for nothing, a big Toy Story fan.
Toy Story, yeah. I forgot.
Road to Perdition, I think, is also incredibly underrated.
Road to Perdition. Well, Forrest Gump. I'm trying to think.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia, but it's one of those, like, you know, like traumatic movies. That it's like, it's good, but like, I'm not going to like.
Sure, you're not going to rewatch it again.
Watch it a bunch. Well, what did we have? Forrest Gump.
You said Forrest Gump. You said The Burbs.
And I said, dude, I'm doing
Big.
Big.
Yeah.
Big is the one. But I feel there's another like old one I really like. I mean, like The Money Pit was really good.
A lot of people like Castaway too.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm a big Toy Story guy.
Yeah. Dude, Big.
Captain Phillips is popular.
Big is the one to me. And A League of Their Own.
There you go.
Oh, Turner and Hooch was nice too.
Terminal, a lot of people like.
Yeah, That Thing You Do, fire.
All right, then second part, most overrated Tom Hanks movie.
Most overrated Tom Hanks movie. That's a tough one. I
think it's Captain Phillips.
You think Captain
or
Phillips?
Sully. No, Sully, I think.
I don't know if I've seen Sully, so I'm going to go with Sully.
There you go. There you go. All right. Is pineapple acceptable on pizza?
Yes. But this is the key component, because this is actually a good question. Food questions, you got me all day.
Sure.
This is the key component of pineapple on pizza, is everyone does it with ham, and it's too much sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Hawaiian pizza, and like, oh yeah, pineapple on with pizza. And it's just too much sweetness, and the pineapple stands out so much because the ham does nothing really to counter it, and it just doesn't go good together. What you need to do is pepperoni and pineapple. And it's the saltiness of the pepperoni with like the acidity sweetness of the pineapple. They make a better combo, and if you really want to get crazy and throw your taste buds in, throw some jalapenos. Pineapple, pepperoni.
You had me with the jalapenos and the pepperoni. I can't do pineapple on anything.
No?
It's the only food in the world that
Really?
I will actively like, no thank you.
Oh, really?
I'll try anything.
Okay.
Like there are foods that I won't seek out.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a big olive guy, but if you give me something with olives, I'll eat it. Same as mushrooms.
Oh, I love a good.
If you give me anything with pineapple, I won't touch it.
Wow.
And so Esther Lynn, the old photographer in my fighting, she thinks that's like a genetic
I
thing.
love you, Esther.
Because you know how, like some people can't have cilantro because it tastes like soap? To me, pineapple tastes like if you took a watermelon and just let it sit out in the sun for a week. And then it, like rotten and it's just awful to me.
Really?
Like it makes my mouth hurt.
I love the citrus. It's such a good citrus fruit.
I immediately gag when it touches my tongue.
That's so weird. I thought you'd be like allergic to it or something.
No, I can't do it. Like I just immediately, I'm just like immediately.
So you, even if it was good, you wouldn't like it on pizza?
No.
It's not like a pizza thing. It's a pineapple
It's 100% a pineapple thing.
Okay. Pep and pine. I'm telling you.
Two-parter, Rihanna or Beyonce?
Two-parter?
So Rihanna or Beyonce is the first part of the question.
Okay. Well, it's different. I think musically, Beyonce has a better catalog because Rihanna really hasn't made an album in so long, but her album she made is actually incredible. But Beyonce has a better, I think, body of work. I think Beyonce is a little more iconic, so I'm going to kind of go there.
Destiny's Child or TLC?
TLC.
All right. Well, we'll do 3 more because it's kind of late over here.
Damn it.
I mean, we
I
can go all
want
day.
to do all
All
of
right,
them.
we'll do all of them.
No, I don't care. I
We'll
don't
do
care.
all
No, dude, do whatever you want. It's your show.
Okay, 5 best horror movies.
5 best.
You could do 1. You could do 3. This
I'm
is your
not
show?
very good about it. Let's try 3.
3.
Dude, I'm so bad with horror movies. And I'm just like, I feel the rapid fire are so hard
They're
to
hard.
get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when someone asks you, like, what's your favorite fight? And you're just like, well, which one happened last? Well, I know Hereditary is one of them.
Yep.
Dude, I'm so bad with horror movies. Let's just
I would
leave it
say
at Hereditary
I
'cause
think
it's good.
Hereditary's up there. I think the best horror movie ever is The Exorcist.
The Exorcist, yeah.
I think that's just a good movie,
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
it's horror or not. I like Get Out a lot.
Get Out, if that's a horror movie, yeah,
and
we'll go with that.
I really like, because a lot of people don't think of it as a horror movie, but it 100% is the original Alien.
Okay.
I think that is an unbelievable horror movie.
Yeah.
And then the original Halloween is unbelievable. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's a good movie. Limp Bizkit or Korn?
Corn, baby.
5 best romance movies. You can do like 3.
Ooh, well, I do love romance. Well, I'm actually going to, like, give Silver Linings a romance. I'm going to do Midnight in Paris was really good. And then for the final 3, I'm going to do the Before trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Before Sunrise, Sunset, and Midnight. And those are the best romance movies, I think, ever.
How old were you when you learned to ride a bike?
I was pretty young, probably like 5.
Favorite soup?
Maybe like pho?
Ooh. What's one classic movie you're embarrassed to say you've never seen?
Since we just talked about it. Alien.
Really?
Yeah, I
That's
played it.
pretty
I
embarrassing.
played it off well. It is.
You know, for a long time, mine was Sound of Music.
Yeah.
Then I finally watched it.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Dude, the thing is, no matter how much you like movies, there's always like some of those obvious ones you just like haven't seen.
Like, I've never seen Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah.
That's probably mine. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, and I think there's a ton of them. But with Alien, it's like I'm not necessarily a horror guy and I'm not necessarily a sci-fi thing. And I know it's considered like the best of its class. But it's like, since those aren't my genres, I haven't seeked out the most classic one of it, which is Alien. So when you just said that a little while ago, I was like, yeah.
What's your favorite book?
The Bible.
All right. Okay. 3 best fictional dogs.
3 best fictional dogs.
Yeah.
Dude, holy cow. Scooby-Doo?
Sure.
Snoopy?
Sure.
This is more like, can I name 3 fictional dogs?
Well, you got Wishbone, you got Slinky Dog from Toy Story, you got Pluto and Goofy from the Mickey Mouse.
I'm going to go with Pluto.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Is Goofy a dog too?
Yeah, he's a bipedal dog.
Oh, he's a terrible father.
Yep. Best birthday present you got as a kid?
As a kid, I don't know, but as an adult, my wife. Well, I always like ask for shoes for Christmas, so I got some cool shoes. But as an adult, Megan, my wife,
There you go.
took me to Cuba.
Ooh.
And invited my 2 best friends to meet us there as a surprise. We all hung out in Cuba for like 4 days. And then on the way back in Florida, we went to see Taylor Swift Reputation Tour. And that was an incredible birthday gift. And also, one time she took me to the Coliseum in Rome for my birthday. So that was cool too.
First celebrity crush?
First celebrity crush? I think it was like Tyra Banks.
Okay.
Or like Brooke Burke. Remember her?
Yeah, of
From
course.
Wild On? Yeah.
How old were you when you learned to tie your shoes?
I don't know, like 30.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars,
Good answer.
because I've only seen them. Are we just going through them?
Yeah,
We've come this far.
We're just plowing. We're listening.
Yeah, if you just see one, we'll just go for it.
Indiana Jones or Han Solo?
Indy.
Andy, you excited for the new movie?
There's a new
Indiana
Indy
Jones
movie?
5. It's going to be his last time playing him.
Let's get it.
Dream car.
Dream car? Dude, I hate cars.
Me too.
Like, I literally, like, I don't care about cars, so I'd probably just get, like, a nice, like, Cadillac sedan, Seville. My best car I ever had, which is actually my dream car, was a '86 Lincoln Continental.
Wow. It's like a
And
boat.
that was my favorite car. And so it's kind of my dream car, too.
Favorite bread?
Favorite bread? Sourdough?
That's the correct answer, everybody.
Dude, oh yeah.
That is the correct answer.
100%.
Snowboarding or skiing?
I love bread, dude.
So do I.
All I do is eat bread every day. It's so
Snowboarding or
good.
skiing?
Skiing.
Sprite or Mountain Dew?
Skiing's more classy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Sprite or Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
Well, I order Sprite more.
Sure.
But like Mountain Dew is a real treat.
Sure.
You know.
I can't even remember the last time I had Mountain Dew.
I can't either.
Yeah.
But that's because it's a treat.
It's true. It makes my teeth hurt. Just
Like
thinking about it.
like
It's
Sprite.
so sugary.
Sprite I can just order like
Sure.
anytime. But like Mountain Dew, I'm raging.
First CD you bought with your own money, if you can think of it.
Dude.
I know. I remember vividly buying mine.
Outcast the Quemini.
Wow, that is such a good first album to buy.
Yeah.
Mine
Yeah.
was Ride the Lightning by Metallica.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I had
dude.
my neighbor had to go with me to buy it because I wasn't 18.
Yeah.
Because it was like parental advisory.
That's
a
sick.
good one.
Outcast the Quemini. But at the same time, that was like my first CD. I had a tape
Oh, yeah.
that I like lived for in my tape player, and all I had and played in my car was Sade Diamond Life. Album.
Julie's Restaurant has a Sade Sunday.
That's a yeah. So
I
those are my
think I know the answer to this one. Coffee or tea?
coffee.
I know. Joe's. We could also do a whole episode on just coffee.
Yeah,
with Joe. 3 favorite movies starring The Rock.
Jumanji,
Sure.
loved it. Pain and Gain
Oh yeah,
is so fun.
that's a fun movie.
That's a wild one. And then there's 2 Jumanjis.
There you go.
So there we go.
3 favorite kung fu movies, if you can name 3.
Not really good.
Oh,
Kill Bill.
sure. You do that one. I think mine would be, because I'm a big kung fu guy, Drunken Master 2, starring Jackie Chan. I think it sets the bar. Enter the Dragon, of course, and then what should have been Game of Death, I think it was called, or Tower of Death, with starring Bruce Lee, where he goes up. It's where he fights Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, yeah.
That never got finished. He died.
Shit.
Yeah, that's like, if I could change one thing about movie history, it would be finishing that. Yeah. First film to make you cry.
La Bamba.
There you go. Mine's Lion King, because that's
Nice.
I bawled my eyes out. What one song lyric gives you chills?
Depends on the day, my
Sure.
friend. Depends on the day, but
All right. Doubled up on
there's quite a few. There's quite a few Taylor Swift lyrics that actually really get me. But yeah,
that. Best sports movie. I think
Best
you said
sports
League of
movie?
Their Own. You like League of Their Own, right?
best sports movie.
Yeah.
Well, if Rocky and Raging Bull
Sure.
count, and
Yeah,
Bloodsport,
absolutely.
those, yeah, Rocky, Raging Bull, and I like The Fighter and Bloodsport.
And finally,
go.
what's your favorite shoe in the history of shoes? Sneakers.
Sneakers in the history of shoes.
Like, not brand. Like, do you have like a...
Like a sneaker that I like a lot.
Yeah.
The thing is, I love style and I love shoes, but I
Gotta be-
don't
gotta be a
have
sneakerhead.
like a specific sneaker that I wear a lot. But there is this pair, because I really just wear like normal things.
Sure.
Right now, I have a pair of Asics that I really like, but I don't even like know the name of them.
Sure.
Exactly. I think Stan Smiths are really a nice classic shoe, but I also have this pair of an Alexander Wang Adidas collab that like I never see anywhere, and I really like those. I'm really bad on the sneakers.
I'm a big PF Flyers.
Ooh.
Huge PF Flyer fan. Like, I grew
Okay.
up in Converse,
Oh,
and
I've seen
then
you wearing them.
I wear them all the time. And then I
Yeah.
like Thursday boots a lot.
Oh, okay.
Big Thursday boots fan. And Doc Martens,
Yeah,
obviously.
Doc
but
Martens. Oh,
Docs
those
are great.
sneakers then?
Yeah. Well, I'll
Oh,
say
like
shoes
shoes.
in general.
Okay.
Because sneakers are. I'm not a sneakerhead either.
Yeah.
Like Mark Raimondi of ESPN, all he does is talk about sneakers.
Yeah.
Like Ray, my friend and cameraman at ESPN, is like a huge sneakerhead.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, the '83 Jordan
Yeah.
Blas." I'm like, I have no
With
idea
the,
what that
the
means.
lime green, yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
I know,
yeah,
like,
okay.
yeah, like I know we don't talk about fighting, but like Nate Diaz at his press conference yesterday was wearing Travis Scott's. They're like $2,000 sneakers.
Yeah.
And he had a bag of ice on his knee, and it melted and it soaked his shoe completely. And he was like, these are soaking wet Travis Scott's. Now, and like I could hear people's hearts breaking.
Really?
Because they're really expensive sneakers that were just weighted down with water.
The thing is, in my closet, I mean, I literally have like 12 rows of shoes.
Sure.
But I
can't
like,
name them all.
But they're just regular like
Sure.
boots, Doc Martens, you know, your classics.
Sure.
Few loafers, few white sneakers,
Anyway,
3 Asics.
that's the bucket, guys. If you can think of any questions, throw them in there. I'll add them there.
That was fun.
I'll be driving, and I'll just be like, this would be a weird question to ask people.
Can I send you questions?
Sure.
To put in there?
Absolutely.
All right.
If anyone wants to send me a question, I'll just throw them in.
That's cool.
This bucket will have to get bigger.
That's a good
Myself.
one.
Like I'll be driving, I'll be at a red light, and I'll be like, I wonder what everyone's favorite type of bread is, and I'll just like write it down, put it in the bucket.
We should get a, or you know what? I'm glad we did all that, but you should do like, I'm gonna draw. I don't know. Do we have a number at first, or we just kind of
we just went with
the
it.
gauge?
I think I was gonna try. I think I was gonna set a time, and you just kept getting into it.
I mean, and then we got so far, I was like, might as well just finish the damn bucket off. It's the first show.
Sure. Let's go big or go home. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching / listening to the inaugural episode of
This was the best
Anything
time.
But Fighting.
This was a dream come true.
This is.
To do that Oscar thing and everything, I was like, dude, thank God. Like, I love talking to people, but like this was perfect.
Yeah,
You're the best.
I'm really happy.
This is going to be amazing.
I'm really happy this happened, and of course, I don't know how often. Like, we'll probably do like 1 or 2 episodes a month.
Okay.
I know I've talked with a few fighters that definitely have ideas that they want to do, but thank you so much for being the first guest,
dude. An honor. When you asked me, I was like, dude, like this is a dream.
And you're gonna have you will come back for the Oscar episode.
Oh hell yeah,
for sure. We're gonna have to do a coffee episode / art. And more importantly, we're going to have to do I think you should leave bracket.
We have to.
Which we talked of. So when season 3 comes out, whenever that does, that will be that episode. We'll do a bracket.
Dude, we have to. Well, the thing with season 3, I'm just going to say it. We'll have to wait a while because I feel with the show, like the more you watch it, the more it festers into your brain. You know what I mean? And it's like you can't give it one watch and be like, that's a good one. So like 1 and 2 are so perfect right now. I'm down to do that. It's great. You know who's a big I think you should leave fan? At least every time I go on Twitter, they like the stories and everything, and sometimes quote it is Ben Folks.
Yeah. Oh, he's huge into it.
He's
so into it. Like I remember I posted something about it, and he messaged me. He's like, "Oh, you like you did. You saw how I liked all the posts. Oh, and then
dude, I hit you up.
Yeah,
dude,
immediately.
The thing is about the show, it's a language, bro. It's a language. It's a language only you understand. Like I talked about, like the post I have on my Instagram. Like if you went to that post and didn't know the language of I think you should leave, you wouldn't understand it.
Yeah.
Just like when someone speaks French in front of you, you're just like, or another language, Spanish, anything. It's a language. You're just like, what the heck? But when you hear somebody somewhere else speak, you know, your native tongue or the I think you should tongue, you're just like, wait a second. So I literally saw you liked a meme, and I was like, hey, dude, you watch I think you should leave. I saw you like this post. Like, heck yeah. And then like we just went off.
I got so much fucking shit on me.
I can't see shit out the side. The chin kills. Oh, dude, I can't handle it. But you know what I mean? It's a language in that manner. Is like you only understand it if you like know it, but also in the way of like you have to be engulfed in it.
Yeah.
Like it's not something you can be like, oh, I watched it once, I understand it.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle.
Do you watch What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes. I love What We Do in the Shadows.
I think that's the funniest TV show ever.
It's incredible.
It's
perfect.
That's like me and my girlfriend. Like that's our language.
Oh, What We Do in the Shadows.
I'll just be like, it's my big time girl, and she'll just be walking by, and she'll be like, my rotten soldier, and she'll just like point at me. Oh, I love it. We'll bring you back for that.
I think I bought Megan some What We Do in the Shadows merch on Etsy.
Oh yeah, I routinely walk around with an Energy Vampire shirt.
It's the best.
Routinely.
Oh,
Anyway,
Colin Robinson.
Anyway, thanks so much.
Dude,
this has been Joe. This is José. This is of course MMAfighting.com. You're listening to the MMA Fighting Podcast Network, or you're watching on YouTube, or you're watching a clip. Who knows? But anyway, until next time, everybody.
Love you guys.